Welcome back, it is me, Caleb, the Imperial Historian, returning with one of my favorite characters in the Malazan series, Adjunct Lorn. This video will chronicle her tragic upbringing as well as many other key events in her life. This will contain a large amount of major spoilers, so you have been warned. Let's begin. Lorn grew up in the Mouse Quarter in Malaz City with her two parents and brother. The Mouse Quarter was known as the poorest part of the city, being described as the filthiest, lowest, and most disease-infested locale in the city. On one fateful night, current Imperial Regent Lysine issued an order against the illegal use of magic in Malaz City. This caused riots in the Mouse Quarter. Lysine sent in the Malazan army and the mage Tattersail to quell the violence. The way that Tattersail and the army would conduct themselves was seen as excessive, as many people were killed. Though Lorn and her family would be spared, this would be the last night she would see her family, as after the riots, she was given to the Claw and would begin her climb up the imperial ranks of the Malazan Empire. Her family was then moved to Mox Hold, where they would succumb to disease, as this district of the city was no better than where they came from, if not worse. This was kept from Lorn for years after the fact, and when she found out, she held Tattersail partially responsible for the death of her family. 7 years have passed since the tragic night that changed Lorn's life forever. She is now 18 years old and adjunct to Empress Lysine. When she became adjunct, she suppressed her childhood trauma and stated that the woman named Lorn, the woman who once was a child, who once had a family, that woman does not exist. She ceased to exist the day she became the adjunct. That quote would be the guise that Lorn would hide under to conceal her true self, a scared girl. This persona that she would use would not make her a popular figure in the Malazan Empire, as many viewed her as a cold-blooded killer. Empress Lysine would dispatch Lorn to Itko Khan, which is along the southeast coastline of Kwantali, to investigate a grisly massacre that had taken place there. The Empress suspected sorcery and would use her to investigate such cases, as she is equipped with an Ototorol sword. The sword was rare and very powerful, as it prevented mages from accessing their warrens. When she arrived at Itko Khan, she met Ganos Perrin, who served as her guide through the massacre. She would deduce that a sorcerer of great power was involved, along with hounds. Afterwards, she would take Perrin into her staff, as she'd taken a liking to him and saw potential in him. Now 2 years older, Lorn was sent to Genabackis on her most dangerous mission yet. Though the north of the continent is in the hands of the Malazans, it has seen little progress elsewhere. Reports indicate that the Empire is losing in Black Dog Forest, and the 3-year siege of Pale is still ongoing, making the campaign a complete mess. Lorn has been tasked with alleviating the current hurdles that are slowing down the Empire on the continent. The major threat being Anomander Rake. He has single-handedly kept the Malazans out of Pale. Removing Rake would mean only one major hurdle left on the continent, and that being Darujhistan. Darujhistan is the linchpin of the continent, and controlling it would mean controlling the continent. Lorn arrived in Genabackis, a large coastal city in the northwestern part of Genabackis. From there she departs for the city of Pale with 10 Malazan elite marines. While traveling through the Rivi Plain, they are attacked by a group of Barghast. The marines defend her the best they can, but slowly they were whittled down. The remaining Barghast advanced on her, but she was saved by a combined effort of Onus Tulin, Atalana Mas, and Talk the Younger. She is hurt badly from the attack by the Barghest, but Tok attends to her injuries and provides a horse to ride so that she can get to Pale. When riding, Tok shares the news of the fall of Pale and that Rake has fled to Darujhistan. While in Pale, Lorn comes to face some of her past demons. This demon being Tattersail, the mage who cleansed the Mouse Quarter. She runs into Tattersail at a formal supper in which many other important members of the Malazan Empire attend. When Lorn sees her, she is struck by rage and grief and tries to have her executed. High-Fist Dujek intervenes, stating everyone is guilty of crimes committed on the Empire's behalf. This does quell Lorn somewhat, but she never deals with her emotions and forces them into a box and retreats into her adjunct persona. Before departing Pale, Tayshrin informs Lorn that the gods are intervening in the Empire's campaign, specifically Oppen, the twin jester of chance. Tayshrin believes this new obstacle warranted Lorn's attention and should be dealt with if the opportunity arises. With this new information, Lorn's brief stint in Pale came to an end. She and Tool traveled to the Gabrodi Hills to find and release the Jaghut tyrant from his barrow. This task will be crucial in weakening Anomander Rake, as the tyrant was a very powerful being. Tool was specifically chosen to help her, as the Amass knew the Jaghut well, and would be able to find and breach the Jaghut's barrow with little difficulty compared to other races. On her way to the barrow, Lorn was beset by mixed feelings as to whether the tyrant should be freed or not, knowing the destruction the tyrant would cause. She managed to push her morals aside and thought only to enact the Empress's will, not her own. Finally arriving at the barrow, Tool was able to breach it and take the tyrant's finest. The tyrant would seek the finest relentlessly, as it contained much of his power. After obtaining it, Lorn and Tool went their separate ways. Lorn headed to Darujhistan to plant it there, and hence draw the tyrant to where Rake was, and Tool decided to observe the tyrant from afar. Lorn arrived at Darujhistan entering via the Wari Town gate entrance, pushing through the streaming mobs that were entering the city. The city was a bustle of activity because of the spring celebration that was taking place at the time. Perfect for Lorn, as she wanted to go unnoticed. After entering the city, she managed to plant the Finnists in the estate district. There she would wait and give instruction to the bridge burners, who were there to sabotage the city. While Lorn waited in the estate district for news on Rake, she spots Oppen's coin bearer, Crocus. Determined to capture him and bring the twin gods to their knees for the Empire, she speeds after him. As she chases Crocus, she senses the tyrant has been defeated. With this revelation, she unleashed her final trick, a Galen demon lord. She tasked the demon to kill Rake. With Rake dealt with to the best of her abilities, she now focuses on Oppen. She spotted Crocus on the street and advanced behind him, rushing at him with blade drawn. But her blade was met by another blade. A crimson guardsman had stepped out in front of the coin bearer. The speed and skill the guardsman possessed shocked her, and she is forced to retreat as the guardsman delivers several severe wounds to her. She retreats to a quiet alleyway where she decides to recover. While resting, she notices two Darujhistan commoners approaching her. They had been sent by a powerful man in the city to finish her off. Lorn put up a brief struggle, but is too weak, and they are able to stick two knives into her chest, leaving her to bleed out on an unknown street in an insignificant way, killed by two unremarkable people. Thus ends the tale of Lorn. I want to take some time to reflect on her. In a way, I think she is all of us, people battling with their identity and or personality. The battle of identity being whether they should show their true identity or hide it in a box and show something fake. In Lorn, we see the battle between Adjunct Lorn, who is devoid of feelings and empathy, and the true Lorn, a person who is rich in empathy and has a personality. This battle we see rage through the whole book of Gardens of the Moon. But in the end, Lorn chooses wrong, and it costs her her life. Life can be short, and if she would have lived longer, maybe her true personality would have broken free. But life is unpredictable, so we have to live in it now and not take every moment for granted.